It has gone out of my hands, out of my control. Can't do anything. These are the words we often hear to wash one's hand off. This sentence is often heard in many of the situations. We get depressed, sad. Now, this sentence has got a real meaning when you talk about a virus. It's gone, washed away. The virus is gone. So, we have a lot of terminologies when you really want to describe the action of removing any organism from a living body or a surface. You have antibacterial, antimicrobial, antibiotic, antiseptic, disinfectant, sanitizer, hand washer. All these may look similar, but they have their own limitations, different meanings. A sanitizer may kill, but it doesn't wash away the killed organism. A simple water can wash, but they don't kill the organism. If suppose the substance which can kill as well as wash away, then if these two characters are combined, well, that will be a better combination in a situation like this. Washing the hands with soap is one of the simplest and most effective ways of killing an organism, especially a virus, when you come in contact with a virus. But remember, soap is the one we have been using for long and long. Many times we would like to spend much thinking that an expensive thing will work better. So we never respect the old things, especially if it is available at an economical rate. So everybody wants to spend much, thinking that the effect will be more. But remember, soap is the best weapon. We have been using it. We are not using it properly. Soap is a best effective substance which can do wonders. You spend less money and the effect is the best. You may think, I have been using it. Why suddenly insisting on soap? The situation is we have researched on this and it is proved that soap will surely kill the virus. So when you have a weapon with an enemy like a virus in the opposite, and if you are not using it properly, it's not wise. It is like killing ourselves. So at least it's the right time we know something about soap. Then we'll start respecting soap. We need how it actually works. Is it a claim that soap can do something or it is proved beyond doubt? This is proved beyond doubt based on evidence. It's an evidence based claim. Let us see how it works. Before that, we should know there is no vaccine for this virus, there is no treatment for it, but same time, we know the mode of transmission. So when there is no treatment, no vaccine to prevent, then the best thing is avoid the disease, avoid transmission from one person to another person. You can prevent that. Preventing means you know how it is transmitted. A droplet. The route of entry is your nose, your mouth, and your eye. And when somebody coughs or sneezes, that organism may get to surfaces. And when you touch the surface, now the organism is there in your finger, but you are not infected still. But remember, on average, a person touches at least 10 to 15 times the face with a finger or hand. So the possibility of this virus getting into your system when you touch your face is very, very high. The nose, the mouth, and the eyes, they are places where you have moisture. It is covered by a layer called mucous membrane. So moisture helps the virus to get into it. And you breathe in, you are directly taking the virus into your respiratory system. And how much time virus can, I cannot say live, I can say active on surfaces, differs from surface to surface depending upon the environmental factors. We are not going into that. So now what I say is you have the virus on the finger, you can prevent, because there is the only way right now available to prevent you from getting the disease. This particular thing is called hand hygiene. So how this hand hygiene works? Now washing with water, only water, this cannot do anything because the virus is like an oil drop which is very sticky to your skin, and the virus can attach itself into the skin, and when you wash it, you are just giving a bath to the virus. Unless the virus is detached from the skin or unless the virus particle is broken down into pieces, you cannot remove the virus. So both these things are done with the soap. Let us see how. To know how it acts, first we should know something about the virus structure. The virus is not a living organism like a bacteria. Either the virus is active or inactive. Inside our body, it is active. It has got a host. It lives in the cell. When it is out of our body, it doesn't have a living place like a cell. It may be active for a period of time, after which it becomes inactivated. So, in this duration, coming out of the body, active for some time, some hours or some days, depending upon the surface, this is a time in which you get from the surface into your body through the fingers or touching the surfaces. The virus structure, as I said, it doesn't have a cell wall. It has got three parts. The center, the genetic material, the genome. It is an RNA here, ribonucleic acid, surrounded by some protein particles which may be used for the replication of this virus. Then you have a cell wall like structure, which is not a real wall, but you call it as envelope or a capsule, which is made up of a lipid. Lipid means fat. So you know very well a fat substance is sticky and it easily sticks to surfaces. So this helps in attaching the organism, and also it helps in the entry of the organism into your cell. Surrounding that, you have spike like things. These are all called the spike proteins. These spike proteins help in the attachment of this virus with the cell surface when it enters into your body. Now, I can say this structure, I can compare this virus to a drop of oil. When you come to soap structure, soap is made up of molecules, and soap is nothing but a salt, fatty acid plus an alkali. You'll get a soap, salt plus glycerol. So soap is nothing but a salt. So if you divide this soap into molecules, the molecules has got two areas. One, a head-like area, another is a tail-like area. It looks like a tadpole. The head-like area is always called polar end. The other end is called non-polar end. The polar end is, or the head-like structure, it can easily dissolve in water because it is made up of ions. The tail is not made up of ions, so it is stable at the same time. It will not dissolve in the water. So dissolving in the water, the head, you call it hydrophilic. It attracts, or the water attracts this, or this attracts water. And once in coming into contact water, this head will dissolve in water, but the tail will not dissolve. This is the structure of a soap molecule. You take a beaker of water, add 5 ml or 10 ml of oil. Now you see the oil floats on the water. They don't mix. Even if you stir the water, it won't form a solution. Again, when it comes to a rest, the top layer is formed by oil. Now what you do is just put some amount of soap into it. Once the soap enters, now you mix it well or stir it well. What really happens? This head-like substance, the polar end, because it is water soluble, it gets dissolved into the water. Now the remaining thing, which is you call it hydrophobic area, or even you call it lipophilic, which is attracted by the fat or the lipid. The oil is a lipid substance or a fatty substance. Now this will go and attach itself with the oil. When you stir, what happens? All these small oil particles are surrounded by soap molecules, and you call it as a missile. And now what happens? These oil particles are dispersed into small molecules and they are pulled into the water. What you get is called an emulsion. So here the soap acts as an emulsifying agent. So remember this. So this is the same concept with the virus. The virus is like a oil particle or a drop of oil. The soap is a emulsifying agent. This water becomes an agent which can help in the breaking of this thing by dissolving the head-like structure in the water. This is how a soap, water, and the virus they interact. Now let us see the mechanism, how it works. Consider this virus as a drop of oil. When you put water on this, it slips. The water does not wash. Now what you do is you take some amount of soap and make a lather. This lather is nothing but a formation of missile. Now what happens, as I said, the soap molecule has got one polar end which is water soluble, hydrophilic, the other end is fat soluble. Now the fat and fat will easily get attracted. So what really happens? The lipid portion, the non-polar portion, which repels water, that is hydrophobic. They go and attach with the envelope or the capsule of the virus, because that capsule or envelope is made of fat or lipid. So this fat and the fatty side or non-polar side of the soap molecule, they get attracted. They attach each. Now what happens? The head portion, the polar portion, which is hydrophilic or water attracting, they get dissolved in this. Now once they get dissolved and all these molecules completely surround the virus, completely get attached with all the portions of the fatty envelope. Now what happens? The water soluble portion dissolves, and once it dissolves, the portions which are attached to the envelope, they pull that portion of the viral envelope, and the viral envelope now is broken into pieces. And once it is broken into pieces, substances inside, proteins, genome, or the genetic material, everything is disrupted. Now what really happens? The whole structure and becomes in pieces. Now when you wash, because this virus is detached from the surface of your skin, and when you pour more water, automatically the small bit or broken pieces, they are washed away from your skin surface. So two actions take place when you combine soap and water. The soap molecule breaks the virus into particles, small fragments, and a running water washes away the broken pieces. So now you are safe. Now, how much time to wash? This is the next question. After all, we have been doing this, washing our hands, but just remember how much time you spend in washing. Just a few seconds, at the most 5 to 10 seconds, you will wash. For a virus to get fragmented and to wash, you need to do it minimum 20 seconds. In this 20 seconds, what you should do is you should do a vigorous rubbing of their all the parts, all the sides and surfaces of your hand. But remember, your skin may be smooth or soft. That will not give an excuse for taking a less time of washing. But for this, our skin may look soft and smooth, but for an organism, a very small sized like a virus, the surface itself is like an uneven and full of ridges. This virus will get attached to these ridges. If you want to dislodge the fragments or dislodge the virus, come out, then you have to do a rubbing. They are very sticky to the skin, and small areas of these ridges, it will hide themselves in that. So you have to expose themselves to the action of the soap molecule. For that, you need at least 20 seconds. Count that. Do this. Remember, you are saving yourself from a big disease. The whole world is fighting against the disease. The small soap molecules, they are the biggest weapon we have. And do it properly and use it properly to get rid of this menace. So this is the best way to get rid of this, because easily available. We have been using it. Of course, we have been using not in a proper manner. Now we are educated how to use it. So you need not worry. The availability of soap very much available, and water is very much available. And remember, this small act of washing your hands periodically, before, during, and after preparing food, before eating, and before and after touching people who are suffering at home, who are sick, after using a toilet, after blowing your nose, coughing or sneezing, after touching some subject objects, animals, garbage, all these times, frequently you have to wash your hand with soap and water. So first wet your hand with a clean running water and apply soap, and you rub slowly to produce a lot of lather. So this lather, as I told, all the molecules, they come together to form what is called missile. The next step is scrub all the surfaces of your hand, the palms, the backs, the fingers, under your nails, and remember, keep scrubbing for at least 20 seconds. Next, rinse your hands under clean running water. Dry your hand with a towel. So this is how the procedure to do a hand wash and razor. Thank you.